Cricket team celebrating at Marine Drive. What an evening this is turning out to be. Mumbai out in large numbers. I remember the last time there was a victory parade after the World Cup victory against Sri Lanka. I was on that road late in the night as Mumbai and India celebrated. Scenes quite similar to that. Nikhil's with us. Nikhil's just come back all the way from the Caribbean islands. We get to travel for the elections in the heat and the dust, and he has this lovely life covering the World Cup. Nikhil, welcome back. And you jet lagged straight out of the flight and here?
I think my tan is a dead giveaway that I was working hard, standing in the sun for 12 hours.
How hard you worked for that tan? Yeah, the whole newsroom saw that.
We stood 12 hours in the sun doing live for television as well as digital. But I must say that all of it was worth it. What we witnessed, and I've seen more than a few World Cup wins during my time as a sports journalist. But this has been incredible. Not just to see that win. Firstly, it came on foreign shores, but the moments after that, to get to interact with a lot of these players, to travel with them on the same flight. I haven't seen a more well-knit unit than this team.
You've also seen past triumphs. So tell me, what does it mean for each of the players when you interacted with them? What's the sense that you picked up? For example, Kohli's been there. He's done this in the past. But that time he was young. The world was in front of him. Now the best days are behind him. So how does perspective change based on where you are on the age block?
Well, let's talk about the two biggest stalwarts in Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. How is it different? Remember, Rohit Sharma was part of that inaugural 2007 World Cup which India won. Virat Kohli, as you mentioned, was part of the 2011 World Cup. But I think this would be special because on those occasions, there were these youngsters who came into a team that was helmed by, let's say, an MS Dhoni on a situation, or, stalwarts like Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh. I think this team is their own team. And I don't only talk about Rohit Sharma, who's of course the captain, but also look at Virat Kohli. 2 years ago, he was the captain. A lot of these players that are playing today made their debuts under Virat Kohli. So I think there is this sense of ownership. This is our team. This is our generation. This is what we created. Yes, 2007 we all celebrated, but the generation had changed. And this generation needed a trophy of their own to pass on the baton, to tell the next generation which hadn't seen the 2007 victory, or probably are not of the same vintage as you and I, Rahul, and did not really carry too many memories of those years. So this was the victory that was needed, and which is why I think it's very special for a Virat.
Look at these crowds that have turned up. It's been a few days since the World Cup finals. Massive crowds out at Wankhede Stadium. And remember the last time this happened against Sri Lanka? The match had happened just that night. So this was soon after. It was the after party. These are people who've come together. It just shows that there is nothing that can drive India quite as crazy as a World Cup victory.
I must tell you, Rahul, while we were coming on the flight, 16-hour-long flight, and I
heard you guys shafted some other Air India passengers to hijack this flight and then bring it back.
Well, I tell you what, there is a clarity that is needed, which is true. But what people forget, that there was a flight that was sent specially to get this team onward, that reached San Francisco, but developed a technical snag. That aircraft could not come. And then there was only 12-hour period where you could get the Indian team out because there was another hurricane coming. So then this was like at the 11th hour you had to arrange for a plane. But I tell anyone who's been putting it out on social media, it's not that aircraft was used to just bring the world champion. That aircraft was used to rescue them. And I believe me, you had to actually rescue them, because if you did not make that 12-hour window, there was a possibility that this would have been happening another 3 days after. And so for 7 days.
It's not so bad to be stranded in Barbados.
Trust me, talking to the players, they could not come back. Can I tell you, it is for the players and the fans. I don't think they even realize what they had achieved till now. Naturally. Till when they are sitting
because
here.
Because you're in a desolate island, there's really no one to celebrate with.
Just to let you know what happened on the
day. That's Rajiv Shukla. No matter where it is, right in front of the camera, Rajiv Shukla will always show up.
In a champion's jersey.
In a champion's jersey, I mean. Yes, there he is.
But I tell you what, when we were coming on the flight, Rahul, I did tell a few players that, listen, be ready, it's going to be a long day, 16-hour-long flight, but don't worry, the adrenaline will carry you through. But they said, no, we're reaching at 6 a.m., nobody's going to turn up. Plus, it's been 3 days, so I don't think, anyone is going to come for an open bus parade. I said, listen, there are going to be fans. One thing I can guarantee, there'll be at least 50 to 100 TV cameras that will be waiting for you. Plus, there will be fans both at Wankhede as well as the Delhi airport. And I'm so happy that the fans haven't disappointed them. In fact, they've exceeded expectations. Look at it. 3-4 days after the victory, you would have thought the exuberance would come down. Nothing like that. Look at a Virat Kohli capturing these moments, because he's going to tell his grandkids once, and and show them these
so
videos.
mellow. Unlike past celebrations, he'd be the one leading. Now he wants to share that with his wife. I suppose he wants to share it with his children. And he's very, very mellow, very different from the Dilli ka ladka we've seen.
He's now the senior pro. Rahul, let's not forget, he's a daddy of two. He has gone through a transformation in terms of how you now see him. Still fired up with the bat in his hand for sure, you still see. But yes, I mean, we did get to see him as well. And again, I go back, he's won everything that there is. He's won a 50-over World Cup.
He hasn't won a Test championship.
Yes, and I think that's part of the reason he's let go of T20 cricket, because he has a sight set. Rahul Dravid said it best when he said, you've ticked all the 3 boxes in white ball cricket. Only 1 box remains, and that is the red ball format in which you need to be champion. And I think to make sure that he's at top of his game, that he's playing the best Test cricket of his life, and probably even ODI cricket, because I still see him play the next 20, 27, 50 over World Cup, because in that he's still the master.
As we celebrate this generation of Indian cricket, after the fabulous victory in the Caribbean Islands, we're joined by the Master Blaster, the man who celebrated long back when we won for the first time. Mr. Sunil Gavaskar now joins us. Absolute delight having you here. So you're a Mumbai boy yourself. You see your city is turned out in big numbers. It's been a few days since this final was played. Mumbai is partying like this match happened just an hour ago.
And I can understand that as well, because it's been such a long wait, isn't it? It's been almost, 13 years, 17 years for the T20 World Cup. India won the 50 Overs World Cup in 2011 and then the Champions Trophy in 2013. So it's been 11 years since India won a world title. So totally understand how India and Mumbai is feeling as well.
To what extent would this give the current team extra belief, given that we've had a series of finals where we've ended up on the losing side? Now that they've been able to cross the finishing line for this generation and over the next several months, as the next bunch of ICC tournaments happen, how much do you think that extra belief will now come into play?
Well, this team was never short of belief. I think they just needed a little bit of a break, and they got that break this time around in terms of some of the narrow wins that they had. First against Pakistan, then even against USA, they had a little bit of a fight on their hands. And if that catch of Suryakumar Yadav had been taken, who knows, USA could have given another surprise. But then the match against Australia, where when their captain Mitchell Marsh and Travis Head were going well, not once did the body language of this Indian team look down. And that's been the biggest strength of this team, is that they've never looked down, even when they've been down. They've actually looked to get up and fight, and that's why I do believe that the core of this team being of young players who will be playing at least for the next 7, 8, 10 years maybe, I think the belief is already there. Now it will only get stronger.
So, one thing that your city firstly never fails, to really deliver. We've seen him on multiple occasions, whether it was the 2007 T20 World Cup, 2011 happened at Wankhede. My question to you is, the scenes that we're witnessing right now at Marine Drive, does it take you back to 1971? Because that's where it really started. The first time you had that wasn't an open bus parade, that was an open car parade. You're all going in vintage cars. So does it bring back memories?
Nikhil, I wasn't there for that because I'd accepted to play in a double wicket tournament in Bermuda, because Sir Garfield Sobers had asked me to play in a double wicket tournament in Bermuda. So I missed that 1971 welcome that the team got from the airport to the Brabant Stadium. The Brabant Stadium was there. I totally missed that, but I can see what this reception must be. This is tremendous. I mean, look at all of them standing on top of the bus, everybody down there cheering, shouting everybody's name. I think this is goosebumps time. This is goosebumps time, and this is what winning for your country does. It makes the whole country happy. Even those who don't follow the game, they will feel a sense of elation at what this team has achieved.
So if I can ask you, we won every title that there is, with the exception of the WTC. 2007, the last time you won a T20 World Cup. 2011, the last time you won a 50-over World Cup. What do you think is the significance and how badly did Indian cricket need this title in 2024?
See, I'll tell you about 2011 and 2024. All the wins have been fantastic wins for the country. I mean, I will not even try and differentiate. The only difference, if one might say, is that the 2011 team, the 50 overs team, was under pressure to win. The 2024 team was under massive pressure to win. The 1983 and the 2007 teams were not under that much pressure because the expectations were really not that high. But after that, the expectations built up. So this is really a special win for 2024 because, you know, the first ever T20 World Cup India wins. And then after that, they start the IPL, which is the biggest T20 league and in the world. And playing so many matches in the T20 leagues, getting experience of playing against various players, different players, then your team is expected to win. And therefore, this win is really special, extraordinarily special, this win.
So anyway, again, I go back to those past memories. 1983 World Cup, your team won. You were all promised, I think, 1 lakh rupees from the BCCI to be shared between every member of the team. I want your reaction
1 lakh to be shared amongst everyone.
And then, of course, Lata Mangeshkar came to the rescue. But my reaction, I would want your reaction on the 125 crore that has been given by the BCCI to this team. Indian cricket clearly has come a long way.
It certainly has, and they deserve more. I mean, why not? I mean, the Indian Cricket Board, that time the BCCI didn't have the money. Then now the BCCI has the money. And therefore, it is nice to see the BCCI recognizing, the efforts of these guys. Look at the way they won. Look at the way they've, rallied in difficult situations and come back to win. That is tremendous, unbelievable. And they totally deserve every single rupee of what the BCCI has done. But more importantly, I think what they will cherish for their entire lifetime is that love and affection that they're seeing from the fans. That you cannot buy for love or money. That love and affection of the people.
3 senior players from the team, Sunny Bhai, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Ravindra Jadeja, announcing their retirement from the T20 format after this World Cup victory. Do you think they've picked the right time? Could they have pushed it a little further? Do you think this is the right moment? And who from the current crop of players do you think is more suited to step in for these legends?
Well, I think they've looked at the T20 format. They've quit from the T20 format because the next T20 World Cup is 2 years down the road. So clearly they don't feel that they will be able to play the T20 at that level 2 years down the road. So yes, I think with that in view, I think they've taken the right time. And why not go when on a winning note? So that's a very good time that they've picked to go. As far as replacement, there are plenty. For Jadeja, there's straight away Akshar Patel, who's been really outstanding in the entire tournament. He's batted, he's bowled, he's taken some unbelievable catches. He's been, to my mind, he's been really the find of that of this T20 format. There are plenty of batters there as well. There's Surya Kumar Yadav, there is Sanju Samson, there is Yashasvi Jaiswal, you name it. There are loads and loads of players who can replace. Obviously, not with the same ferocity and power right away, but with more experience, they will get there.
What do you make of the kind of outburst of emotion we're seeing from Rahul Dravid? Usually he's seen as being very stoic after the victory, and even now he's really pumped up, letting it all loose and letting all the emotions flow.
Well, you see, he was never a part of a winning team himself. So for him, and this also being his last job as a coach, it really must mean a lot. It's a different feeling when you feel you're the world champion, to be part of a squad, to be part of a team where you've beaten the rest of the world. It's an incredible feeling, hard to describe in words, what it means. For us in '83, when we did that, it was just mind-blowing. I think there was so much of screaming and shouting, that was going on in the change room, and I'm sure that would have happened now with loads of music, etc., being played. It's just a feeling which refuses to die down. Even after so many years, you just feel that little. Every time you talk about 1983, you just feel a sense of pride, a glow of pride when people talk about 1983, as far as our 1983 team is concerned.
Saibhai, you're talking about moments, and I think the standout image for me today has been when the team arrives in Mumbai, it's not the captain, it's Hardik Pandya who walks out with the World Cup trophy in the city that not too long ago was not very happy with him being captain of Mumbai Indians. We saw visuals from Wankhede, it's packed, and they are chanting Hardik, Hardik, the same crowd which probably was booing him some time back. Could you think of a better comeback story than Hardik Pandya's in this World Cup?
I don't think so. I think, this is what the game of cricket does. This is what the game of cricket is all about. You can be very good for 2 sessions of the game, and the third session is something where it can slip out of your hands. So clearly, for Hardik Pandya, this must mean a lot. But it's also, let's face it, it's the nature of Indian fandom. You know what happened to Mahendra Singh Dhoni? You know what happened to Mahendra Singh Dhoni's house in 2007 after India had that disastrous outing in the Caribbean. People, over there in Ranchi were throwing stuff at his house. And then when 2011, when India won, the very same people, I'm pretty certain, most of them at least, would have, were trying to get in to the house and try and congratulate his parents for what he had achieved. So that's the nature of fandom in India. Not everywhere, but some places.